Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Do-Gooders. And today I am super excited to have Andy Yim on the program. So Andy, how are you?
Great to meet you, and thank you for having me on here. It's
nice
a super
to meet
great
you. We
opportunity.
were going to chat a little bit off camera, but I figured why waste it? So
Yeah, absolutely.
we're going to kind of start at the beginning.
For sure.
I know you've got a couple of really cool new projects we want to talk about.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us what you got going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess a little bit about myself.
Please, wherever you want to start.
Yeah, awesome. So I'm Andy Yim, born and raised in North Jersey. Went to school up at West Point, commissioned as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army.
Free college.
Free college.
Not too free though.
Not
completely
too free. Definitely paying back with some service. Did about 8 years in the Army as a field artillery officer.
What years were you at West Point?
I was there from 2013 to 2017. So graduated in 2017.
Okay.
Was a field artillery officer. My first duty station was in Korea. Did that as a I was working with rocket systems there. Went over, stayed in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Did some time with the 101st.
What's the culture like in Korea?
Korea, I mean, I love it. I mean, I'm also biased. My parents are from there. But, in Korea at the time as well, there was just a little bit more hype in terms of what was happening at the time geopolitically. So I had an opportunity to have that as my first duty station. Stayed there for a year. Was able to.
Is that society a little more technologically advanced?
100%.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah. I think it's one of the small things, like even like, hey, the train's gonna be on time, and it's gonna be on time, kind of thing. Like things like that, or like the different apps that they have there as well. So it was really cool seeing that side of things. Going back to I guess where my parents are also from. Exploring that, being able to see that.
Do you speak Korean?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Conversationally speaking Korean. And just being able to kind of give back, to not only for our country, but also help out our, I guess.
I know they're
other
golf
nations
crazy
too.
right now.
They
too,
are
right?
golf crazy. I mean,
Fastest growing market for girls golf is South Korea.
really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
in the
that.
world.
Well, yeah, I
And
can see it.
if I understand, actually, I do understand this. There's not a lot of golf courses, so most young people only know simulator, and they get to play maybe one or two green grass rounds of golf. I swear, a year.
Really?
Yeah, my shout out to my wife is on the board of directors for the LPGA Girls Golf Foundation.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I got to meet some of these girls, and for a lot of them, they were in Florida. It was their first time playing golf on a golf course. But they were incredible.
Yeah.
They have incredible skill sets. Just, I guess, from a real estate standpoint, I don't know what the reason is. There's not a lot of golf courses in Korea, but they love golf.
Yeah, I know all the
That's
time.
all I know about Korea.
Oh wait, well, I'm sure over here too. Like I know, living up in North Jersey is a huge, it was a huge amount of individuals, Korean Americans who were just really hyped about golf. I didn't pick it up until probably 2 years ago.
Oh, you're a golfer?
I wouldn't say I'm a golfer. I play to have fun. I'm there with the vibes, but I love the sport. I think after you hit it, you stripe it once, and you're like. Yep, I bring that feeling to get back over there.
This is a PG-13 show, so I'll tell you my old joke.
Yep.
Luckily, golf and sex are the only two things you don't have to be good at to enjoy. So keep that in mind. Don't feel bad.
I'll keep that one in mind.
Everybody stinks. That's what I tell everybody. Everybody stinks.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to be bad, just don't be slow.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
my only critique. Play fast.
Play fast,
My
yeah.
uncle who taught us how to play golf would say, boys, I don't care how bad you are, just be fast.
Yeah.
All right, so we're off track a little
Yeah.
bit. So you're serving our country in Korea, which
Yep.
was doubly cool for you, I
Yeah,
guess, right?
absolutely, yeah.
How many years were you there?
I was there just 1 year.
Okay, that's a pretty great way to experience
Great
the culture.
time.
Get
I was
immersed.
able to extend it if I wanted to. I wanted to come back to the States.
To Kentucky.
To Kentucky, yeah.
So you went from a very technologically advanced society
to Kentucky.
to Kentucky. We'll
Yep,
leave it at that.
we'll leave it at that.
We don't have a lot of viewers in Kentucky, so I think we can pick on. I think we can pick on Kentucky a little bit. No, just kidding. Shout out, we love
Yeah,
Kentucky.
just shout out. We do love Kentucky.
We love the chicken,
We love-
but Korean fried chicken is
Yeah,
actually
Korean-
better.
Pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. A little bias on that too. It's
All
pretty
right,
good.
so as a real expert, who's
Korean
got the
fried
better
chicken
fried?
all the way. I'll say that
I
to
think
a
I'd
T.
have to agree
Yeah.
with you. All right, so now you're back in the States.
Back in
You're
the
finishing
States.
up your service.
Yep, back in the States. Was very fortunate. Was worked with a variety of units. Worked with the 5th Special Forces Group as well as the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment.
Those are the Rangers, right?
No, separate from the Rangers. They're for the 160th. They're like the Black Helicopter unit. One of the most, if not the most, they are the most premier aviation unit in the States. I'm not a pilot, but being able to serve with them as their fire support officer has been just truly a privilege for myself. So extremely grateful. I deployed 4 times, 3 to Iraq, went to Cyprus, all grateful for myself to be able to be here today. But I knew that the Army and the military as a whole was a great chapter in my life, but it wasn't my whole life. So, you know, how I kind of ended up thinking about all this was like, all right, what's that next chapter? Ended up now.
What's the West Point required? How many years is required?
5 years.
5 years required,
Yep.
and you did 8.
I did 8.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So a lot of people, you know, they do the 5-year requirement. They could leave at that point. The 8-year mark is another big push for a lot of individuals. It's kind of like a turning point. Like, are you going to stay in, do your 20 years, or are you able to kind of branch out from that moment? So I decided to branch out from there. Extremely grateful to have gotten accepted.
And that would have been what, 25 that last year?
Yeah, exactly. This past June, and now I'm currently.
You know, white guys can do math too.
Yeah, see, there it is. So we did 8 years, and now I'm at the Wharton School at Penn. So
I think I've heard of that one.
So doing my MBA with a focus of
that's the new place, right?
It's brand new.
Yeah.
I think they just started up. I think last year, right? So,
well, that's incredible.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. So currently
what are you studying there?
Focus on entrepreneurship and innovation.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I guess all this to come out.
I'm an alumni of the peer program there, the Pennsylvania Institute of Economic Research.
Perfect.
With Dr. Klein.
I love that.
No, obviously a phenomenal institution. We're so lucky to have that right in our backyard.
Yeah,
you know, here
absolutely.
in Philadelphia. So that's incredible. So you're studying entrepreneurship.
Yep.
I mean, I got to tell you, this is quite a background to get you ready for the world. No, seriously. I mean,
appreciate that.
I think that's a really great starting point to get all of that discipline from the military, and then now to kind of explore entrepreneurial thinking with that background. So all of this has kind of brought us to a couple of current projects, right?
Exactly. So I guess to start off, you know, my wife and I, we have 2 cats, Ash and Molly. And when we were moving from Nashville to Philly, right before school started, we got our medical records back from our vet. One of them for Ash, because we just hit them up saying, hey, we're about to move. We need the medical records. Ash had a 55-page medical record, not because she was sick or anything, but like the formatting.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Jim mentioned that. How does a medical record get to be 55 pages on a cat that weighs 8 pounds?
Yeah, exactly. So for this one, it was just formatted so incorrectly. There was like 6-7 words per page. Every page had maybe, you know, nothing really.
And what, they just handed you this giant manila folder?
Emailed it in a PDF, and it was like, all right, see you later. So I was like, well, I can't read this. If I can't read this, will my vet actually take the time to read it? And that got me thinking while I was at school, and then just really was like, well, it doesn't make me really feel right, so I need to do some more research. Did a bunch of market research, spoke to about like 35, 40 different veterinarian professionals, you know, vet techs, front desk individuals, also veterinarians. It came to find out like they spend, you know, they're busy individuals. Some of them see up to 30 patients a day. And now you have to block that off at each point, but they only get to maybe spend up to 10 minutes per record or per patient for their records. And, you know, there's a lot of things that could get missed in between there. And that really, for me, was like, well, can't we make this easier, not only for the pet owners, but also for the veterinarians? Because they're the ones taking after our, you know, basically our pet family. I consider, you know, my cats
now,
as
I assume,
family.
did you look for a solution in the world already? There was nothing there?
Yeah. So I think a lot of the solutions out there right now, they're very focused on the clinical side. And I get that. You know, that's where the money is. They want to go towards the 35,000 different veterinary clinics that are in the States, but you're also ignoring the 153 million pets that are in the States. And for me,
is that an accurate number?
Yep, it is.
Is that cats and dogs, birds?
Cats and dogs, both. Just cats and dogs.
Just cats and dogs.
Yep.
153 million cats and dogs in the United States.
In the U.S.
Wow.
65% of U.S. households own a pet. So, I mean...
Now, I don't know this, and maybe you do. How does that rank internationally? Is the U.S. the highest rate? Are there other countries that have higher levels of pet ownership?
You know, that's a really good question.
Never thought about this
Yeah,
before.
I never thought about the global rate. I do know U.S. holds extreme lead in terms of spend. A big portion of that too came from Gen Z millennial population after, you know, when COVID happened, and you can't, you know, someone's going to adopt one of the pets, right? That's what really brought up this giant push for spending. I believe Gen Z and millennials, they accounted for about 40% of the annual spend last year in just pet care. And that's only growing.
And we can also thank them for that horrible term, fur baby.
Fur babies, yeah, my fur berry, yeah, paw rents, yeah, that's what I say. Yeah. So coming from the military now, I'm dealing with fur babies. You know what I mean? So
Get some real kids and get back to me about fur babies.
So yeah, I kind of really stemmed up Lemora, which Lemora Animal Health as a whole. Lemora, it's a mixture between lumen, as in clarity, and aura, just in terms of aura, and to combine it and created Lemora.
Was that Andy or AI?
That was me talking to AI,
Okay.
saying, "Hey, look, like I need a good word for this," and it
I
kinda
love
helped me out.
made up words for
Yeah,
companies.
made up words help out. And for me, our motto is really clear record, smarter care, because we want to make sure we create that longitudinal medical history for that pet.
Who needs a product when your name and your tagline are that good? Lemora. What was that?
Yeah.
Clear, better record?
Clear records, smarter care.
Oh, this thing's going to be a huge success.
I hope so. Knock on wood. Yeah.
I'm writing you a check when this thing's over.
So,
Just out of curiosity, are you raising money?
I
Are you
am
bootstrapping this?
Yeah,
or?
I'm bootstrapping right now. I'm doing more of like the friends and family round currently, and for me, I think it's we're planning to launch our pet owners app, Paw Chart. Within the next couple weeks, if not by June, is our hard date. So we're super excited about that. We have a whole.
All right,
bunch
anybody
of,
out there who wants to get rich?
Yeah.
Here's your chance. He's going
on wood.
to close the round pretty soon. You got to get to Andy now. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You're good. So I'm extremely excited about that because we have 4 total portals, not including, to include, I guess you could say, the pet owners app. So pet owners app is Paw Chart. We want to be like the Epic My Chart equivalent for pets. Humans have Epic, pets will have Lemora. And really the push for me is, the B2C approach, really going out to the pet owners, allowing them to upload the records that they got from all these different vet clinics. Because
Okay, so to super simplify this. The problem you're trying to solve is, as a pet owner, and as someone who owns 4
Yep.
pets myself,
Yep.
now that I think about it, I have no access to their medical records.
Yep.
And you're saying that the vet is a disaster. They're not doing a great job of keeping these things concise or organized. So now the emphasis will shift to me, the pet owner. I'll have a repository where I'll have all of their records.
Yeah.
As long as I go to a participating vet, is that kind of, or
it doesn't even matter. The vets, they are busy on the daily. What I'm trying to do is help them out, simplify their own day, because
would there be a Lemora sticker in the window of a veterinary professional? Like, would that how I know if they're in network, so to speak?
we're trying to get to a point where for one, we want like a heat map, you know what I mean? Allowing people to know which vet clinics utilize it. But even if they don't, in our app, we're able to export a PDF that has a first page summary, citations with the conditions, vaccination, medications. That's what our software does. When you upload your records, you press the generate paw chart button, you instantly see active chronic conditions going on with your pet from the records, the medications, vaccinations, if they're out of date, allergies. That's all pulled in. So for you as a pet owner, you have a better understanding of what's going on.
This
with the
is
pet.
very useful for like boarding,
Absolutely.
and grooming, because that's always a nightmare in our house. When we have to board our animals, we can never find the shot records.
Yep.
We have to call the vet. So in the future, once I'm using Lemora or Pet Chart, it'll make it a lot easier for owners to demonstrate vaccination records and the health of their pets for boarding and that kind of
And
stuff.
I'm glad you brought that up because we have Paw Chart Link, which is our boarder and groomer portal that does exactly that. Because people are going in and is able to you go to a border, like you were saying, you go to a border, they're going to ask you, are your vaccinations up to date?
Yeah, it's the first question.
And you're like, well,
Same thing with grooming too.
Exactly. So we already have a portal in the works. We have some great design partners who are helping me out. And the best part about that is we're understanding how these other softwares work, but they are all siloed and fragmented pieces of information. Why can't we collect this all together and make sure that we have a full ecosystem on this? So, which got me to the point in terms of the border and groomer portal. We have that called Paw Chart Link. And then we have our Paw Print program, which is for the rescues and shelters, nonprofit. Any of those nonprofits are going to be completely free on our platform. Whenever an animal gets adopted, they could just press transfer to Paw Chart. That new adopting parent will have all the records and the information that they have already on their phone, free of charge. We talked about it earlier today, but I'm not trying to get the money out of people for this. Oh, you got to pay to even have access to your records. Now, like,
I take that back. We no longer recommend investing in Andy's company. I revoked. It's no longer a good investment. It's too nice of a guy.
Up to 3 pets.
Andy, you can't say that
I
until we
know.
raise the money first,
I know,
Andy. Come on.
I know. It's up to 3 pets is free and basic insights. And why we did that is because it's 1.8. The average is 1.8 cats per household, 1.5 dogs per household. You know, I mean, I think 3 covers a solid amount of individuals. If I feel real good if, you know, anyone who's using our app is able to go to an ER vet, pull this up and say, hey, my pet is in, you know, needs care. You have everything you need to provide that care. If they are able to get that done, I'm a happy camper. Because at the end of the day, that'll make me feel good.
Really hard to believe. This is one of those ideas when you hear, like, how did no one else address this? I mean, 153 million pets, and no one's tried to tackle this. That's really incredible.
All right, well, I hope it works.
This is none of my business, but out of curiosity, so I guess the strategy to monetize this is through ads, I guess,
well,
eventually?
A lot of it's the
keep
B2B.
it-
Well,
to
the
keep it
B2B,
cheap?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, the B2B for the...
Listen, I love things that are free to the consumer and,
Yeah.
and get monetized through advertising. I love it.
The premium
this
model,
podcast.
Yeah. The premium model or the pro model for our app, up to, you know, it's $5.99 a month. You know, still trying to keep it so it's, hey, less than a cost of a coffee, right? But at least you have the AI insights.
Is that $599? Oh, $5.99
a month.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm all about just being able to have people who have pets care about their pets.
It's actually $5.50 for do-gooders listeners.
Yeah,
Put in-
if I
put in
can make
promo
something
code-
happen.
Promo code do-gooders,
do-gooders.
$6.50.
We'll make that happen. We'll make that
And I
happen.
get my quarter.
Yeah. So yeah, $5.99.
This is a very, very cool sounding project, man. I wish you luck. So how far out? So we are recording this on May 1st.
Yep.
How far is this? When can I have Paul Chart for my pets?
We want this to be launched by June.
So 30 days.
30
I'm not
days.
sure when this is actually going to be on.
Yep.
We're recording on May 1st. Do you
Yep.
think you're that close, huh?
Oh yeah. Nope.
Wow, very
we
exciting.
are super excited. We have a bunch of smaller events coming up. You know, next week, next Saturday, we're going to be participating in the Tails and Trails 5K at the main line. We're supporting a cat named Henrietta from the Mainline Animal Rescue.
Okay, so listen, so this is a nice segue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Almost like we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So, you know, this show is called Do Gooders.
Yep.
And I do love having exciting entrepreneur people, and I love hearing about new businesses. But the
sure.
main thing I really want to talk about is the good,
Yeah.
you know, business people do.
Absolutely.
And my famous quote here is that doing good is good for business.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like you share that philosophy a little bit. So why don't you share with the folks some of the nonprofits that you and your family care about, support, and then we can talk about some of the events you're involved in,
Yeah.
and some of the stuff that you're proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So currently, right now, I'm volunteering over in at Penn. They have the Warrior Canine Connection. What they do for service dogs, for military veterans or military support families, they train up their service dogs for those individuals. So I go once a week. Been doing that for the last couple months. But you know,
Are you the poop scooper?
Thankfully, I got a better job than just being the poop scooper. You know, teaching some of the dogs like the specific commands that they have.
Are
and all
they
that as
looking
well.
for additional volunteers?
I could ask because I mean, truthfully, I think within I know they're a big push for all the other veterans within the Penn community to help out, but I think there is also more.
And that's the Canine
Warrior Canine Connection.
Warrior Canine Connection.
Yep, and they're a national-wide nonprofit organization. I know they're looking also for puppy raisers and puppy families who are
So
able
is this
to
the
raise these
Philadelphia chapter?
This is, yeah.
Okay, so it's a national organization.
Yes, yeah, they're headquartered
And their
down in
primary
Maryland.
focus is training dogs, and then they provide those to retired service members
Exactly.
to help with PTSD. And
Yep.
I've actually I've seen some videos on this, and supposedly the results are incredible, right?
Oh, yeah.
The impact these animals have on folks that are really struggling, right?
Yeah, truthfully, you know, it's one of those things that takes me. I mean, I do an hour a week with these dogs. It blows my mind every time when I train with these dogs of how smart they are. But even the small connection that
Is
you
that
build.
because they go to Penn?
Yeah.
Like, are the dogs at other chapters not as smart? What do you think?
You know what? I no bias here, but you know, I think
Because I have some people in Boston that might think the
might
the
think
dogs
their
are pretty
dogs are gonna
smart
be
up
smarter.
there too.
we'll think about what about the ones in New York or something like that
We
too.
don't like the- we don't like the, Columbia. Anyways, okay, so Warrior Canine Connection.
Yep.
Okay. What's there were some other organizations you had mentioned
Yeah.
too.
So the pretty cool things about what I want to do is, we're doing that Tales for
When is that
Tales for
event?
Trails. That is May 9th.
Not sure if this will air by then, but if it is, if you're watching this before May 9th,
Yep.
tell us a little bit about the Tales and
Yeah,
Trails.
yeah. This is their 15th annual, 5K, sponsoring not only just the shelter animals, but is out of Pennsylvania's SPCA program. They are holding the event at the Mainline Animal Rescue in Pennsylvania. For myself, I had an opportunity. I'm like,
Are those all fancy dogs there?
no, honestly, it's funny. It's gonna be really great for the entire event, because I've never, for myself, getting the brand out there. But at the same time, we wanted to do something with that, not just have a table. So we have an opportunity to have a little sponsor sign, and I asked to see who the which animal, which cat is the oldest. That's been at the rescue, and is Henrietta. So shout out to Henrietta. Hopefully I get to meet her on May 9th.
And the real
as well.
goal is for someone to adopt Henrietta
Absolutely,
that day, right?
absolutely. I think we also, what we want to do too. We have something in August that we're planning for. It's called the MVP Tour, so the Most Valuable Pets Tour. We're going to be tabling at 3 separate minor league baseball games. One in Erie. They're having the flagship City Kitty Night, which is pretty fun.
You're going all the way out to Erie?
I'll drive over there. I saw an opportunity, and
It's actually pretty dry this time of year.
yeah. So we'll be going to that, tabling out there, trying to get other organizations from the Erie community, get those individuals from nonprofits.
These pets will probably be less fancy than the mainline pets.
Yeah, but all pets are good pets,
All pets
right?
are good pets.
So
And here's an endorsement for folks who are interested in adopting pets, which everyone should. Don't overlook older pets.
yeah,
They
absolutely.
have less energy. They're less rambunctious. It's
Yeah.
good. Puppies
They're-
are a pain in the neck.
Yeah, puppies.
Henrietta's probably very well behaved,
think
very
Henrietta's are-
docile.
yep.
So don't overlook older cats and
Yep.
dogs when you're thinking about. I'm actually being very serious. Because these are the ones who probably need it the most.
Absolutely. So we're doing that.
Erie, what else we got?
Yeah, so we're also going down to Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs for their Bark in the Park event. Each one of these events, and the last one's going to be in Brooklyn for the Brooklyn Cyclones event, and that's also a Bark in the Park. For me, each one of those is an opportunity for me. I mean, yeah, I could showcase our app, but why not also have something to showcase a local shelter or a rescue that needs that extra support?
Sure.
I mentioned it before, but for us, the paw print program for our shelters and rescues, that's a completely free portal. I don't believe in having them pay for something like that. I don't care how much money a nonprofit can make, but in reality, it doesn't really. I think just coming from a background of service, I'm okay with allowing somebody to utilize our portal
Nonprofits
from there.
need all the help they can get
Absolutely.
because there's a war being fought for everyone's attention.
Yeah.
And it's not a fair fight because the for-profit industry is able to spend 10, 12, 16 times the level that the nonprofits are allowed to spend.
Absolutely.
So doing stuff like this, in-person events, merging your for-profit endeavors into helping nonprofit exposure,
Absolutely.
I think is very commendable
appreciate
and really
that.
necessary because, again, obviously this show is dedicated to philanthropy and trying to promote nonprofits, and it's getting harder and harder.
Absolutely.
We had a guest on recently who has a professional marketing agency, and he kind of gave us some details on the lopsided fight there is for people's attention, and it's getting worse with younger people. So I'm not sure how old you are, but this Gen Z millennial crowd, and actually it was funny. He made a very good point. I don't think it's that you guys are any less empathetic. I don't think you. No, I really don't. I don't think it's any kind of flaw in your character. I think you're just not aware.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is nonprofits don't. When I was a kid, it was easier to take notice of nonprofits because I had more available attention. And I think with the limited bandwidth now and the way that everyone's getting just beat over the head with all the for-profit stuff, it's hard to make room for philanthropy. So I really do admire what you're doing.
No, I appreciate it. I think it kind of stems back just childhood. I'm an only child, but I truly thanks to my parents. I wanted to play football when I was growing up, and my dad, after doing middle school for a bit, my dad was like, "You won't make it as a football player, but you have a chance to still make it to. I was in Boy Scouts, so I was like, you have a better chance, making it.
Andy, I was an only child.
Oh.
I was in Boy Scouts,
guys-
and my mom wouldn't let me play football. Did we just become best friends? Do you want to go do karate in the garage?
Yeah, so much room for activities.
All right, sorry.
But yeah, it was. I think
I always say about only children, our parents got it right the first time. So there was no, right? You stop trying once you get it right.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. But, I think you could probably have that same feeling. It's like, that's our introduction to service, I guess, right? Like, being able to, as you go up to the ranks or whatever, and your final Eagle Scout project or anything like that, it's always.
Did you get your Eagle?
I did. Yeah, so.
I hate you. So I didn't finish my service project because I got to that age where it kind of wasn't cool
Yep,
anymore.
I completely get it.
And I think I was 3 months away.
Yep.
And to this day, I look back and I try not to have regrets because it's kind of stupid. But I do wish if I had a time machine, people would be surprised. I'd probably go back to 15 years old and finish my Eagle Service project. That was probably very helpful in getting you to West Point, I bet.
Yeah, I think that helped out a lot.
I think there's been less than 1 million Eagle Scouts ever, right?
Really, I need to look up the
It's
stat.
a shockingly, it's a real accomplishment.
Oh, I appreciate
and you
that.
actually find, this is a big shout out for the Scouts, which again is an organization that's in big
Yeah.
trouble right now.
Yeah.
Numbers are down. I don't think there's ever been a more important time in history
Yeah.
for young boys and girls to be out in the woods, get into nature.
Absolutely.
Go experience the world. And the
Absolutely.
best part is no phone for a weekend.
Exactly.
So yeah, please, I encourage everybody. I'm glad to hear you did that. So see, you can end up going to West Point and go to a fancy college like the University of Pennsylvania and become a tech billionaire, but only if you join the Boy Scouts. So that's the
It all starts from somewhere.
That's the moral
It
of
all
the
starts
story
from
here.
somewhere. Yep.
Have you stayed involved at all?
Honestly, you're bringing this up and thinking about it. I haven't, and what I would want my kids to do in the future. If that ends up happening with my wife, with whatever direction we end up taking, yeah, I would love to have them, have that same experiences that we did. I think it's so huge. I mean, I still remember in high school, of course, our scout meetings were in the most inconvenient times. I don't think I went to one high school football game because our troop
Friday
meetings-
nights?
Friday nights.
Jeez.
Yeah, rough.
It's even more impressive you stuck with it.
Yeah.
We were Tuesday nights at St. Rose of Lima Church in Newfield, New Jersey.
Man.
Troop 194.
Yeah,
And our camping trips were on the weekends. That was always great. We did the one. Did you guys do the one camping trip?
We did like once every quarter, I think.
We did once a month.
Oh, really?
Which was great.
Maybe
yeah.
it was once a month. I have to
But
think.
your meetings were on Friday nights.
Friday nights, Troop 184.
That's why you got such good grades.
It's a topic that me and my couple close buddies, we always think about too. It's like, man, like definitely wasn't cool. Like we weren't going to the Friday night light games. We were over at St. Peter's in the basement over there in the gym doing our meetings. But looking back, I think it's those experiences like we were talking about too. It's like being able to go out to the wilderness, learn how to make a fire, learn how to cook without any really adult supervision out
Yeah,
there.
cooking our own food
Yeah.
was really cool. When I was
Yeah.
like 12 or 13, that
Absolutely.
was neat. We ate a lot of pork chops.
Yeah, I know.
That was our go-to because if just salt and pepper is really all you need on a pork
Yeah,
chop, and it was
that's true.
cheap.
Yeah.
We had that. Our budget was always so minuscule. It was
Yeah.
hot dogs and pork chops.
I think we had too many hot dogs.
And I've eaten a lot of raw hot dogs. Full disclosure. I've had a lot of raw hot dogs, and they're actually delicious. Well, this is a lot of fun. What else do we want to talk about? Is there any other events? You kind of talked about a couple of
Yeah,
upcoming events.
you know-
any other organizations you kind of want to plug or
Yeah.
raise awareness for?
Realistically, for me, I would love this opportunity to just let not only like the Philly community, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. If there's anybody who is in need in the shelter rescue community that needs a portal or needs some extra like guidance in terms of where records are at, I'm here to help. It's not. I'm not trying to make this like a siloed, I guess portal or not give access to people who need it. And truthfully, our biggest push is for the app first to kind of build out the more the direct to consumer B2C approach. And as we build onto that, I really want to partner now with those different organizations, not only in the Philly community, the outer suburbs, but also eventually nationally. So,
Well, we have, off the top of my head, probably about 24 animal charities on the Ticks for Good platform.
Awesome.
So I will be very excited to make those introductions
That'd be
for
awesome.
you. And be careful because some of these people are going to take you up on
Yeah,
that very
absolutely.
generous offer of yours.
Yeah.
One thing I learned with my career now, spending a lot of time in the nonprofit space, is just how many animal nonprofits there are, and
Yeah.
just how many animals are out there in
Absolutely.
serious need of a loving home. It's actually heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Those Sarah McLachlan commercials
Yeah.
are
They're real.
happening. Yeah,
They're real.
They're happening in real life.
Yeah.
So if nothing else today, I really encourage people to, find a local shelter. One of the things my family and I do is we'll do doggy days out. A lot
love that.
So even if you're not able to adopt a dog, which again is very serious long-term commitment, you could foster.
For sure.
Which is great, which is a great way to find out if pet ownership is a good fit for you and your family. But even doing a doggy day out
Yep.
or a kitty day out, just get these guys a change of scenery,
Yeah.
scratch some ears, rub some tummies, put some treats in their belly.
I mean, who doesn't love that?
I mean, honestly, it's one of these things I always say I get more out of it than the dog does.
Yeah, exactly.
Like putting that kind of smile. So
yeah.
I always have a lot of respect and admiration for folks that are trying to make an impact in that space. So Andy, I got to tell you, I really enjoyed meeting you.
Likewise.
I had nothing but the best
I appreciate
for the
that.
projects. I'm only halfway kid about the investment opportunity.
Yeah,
so,
no, I'll take you up on it.
It
I'll
seems
take
like
you up on
a
it.
really good idea.
I really appreciate that. Yeah.
I think it's again hard to believe that no one's ever come up with this, but I guess all the good ideas are like that, right? Somebody's got to think it up, and I think it's going to be a real success, and more importantly, I think it'll do some real service.
I appreciate that.
For animals, families, and communities. So I encourage everybody, guys, go check out Lamora Health. Paul Chart coming soon to the App Store near you.
Yep.
Very cool guy, very cool company. So if you have a use, if you're one of those 153 million pet owners, you don't need much market share, Andy. All you need's about, 1/10 to 1%.
Hey, maybe we could take all 153 million.
But no, all kidding aside, I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you.
More importantly, thank you for your service.
I appreciate that. Thank you for your support.
Best of luck at that dump over there in Philadelphia, that dump college of yours.
Go Birds.
I hope hope everything works out. So seriously, really nice meeting you.
Likewise.
And that's it. So,
Awesome.
folks, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so
As
much,
usual,
everyone.
I want to remind everybody to go to ticksforgood.org. In this case, please select one of our incredible animal charities. Make a small donation for your chance to win a great prize. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Do Gooders.
Have a good one.